It was 1994, I was 9 years old, and I was about to see a movie that would change my life forever. I had a very interesting childhood. I was raised Armenian American on the North Shore of Long Island. My parents are both Armenian, but they come from different worlds. My mom was born in the Bronx and works in advertising. My dad was born in Lebanon and is trained in directing for theater arts and film. And I also went to an Armenian day school. It was my elementary school, so I spoke, read, and wrote the language on a daily basis. And I knew pretty early on that blending in anywhere would probably not be in the cards for me. But that all began to change the year when Uncle Avo visited from Armenia. Uncle Avo is my dad's younger brother. He's this tall, lanky, very Borat-like character who, well, my dad and he both have a sense of humor, but my dad is a little more reserved, and he's all about timing. Uncle Avo has the kind of sense of humor that you'll never understand. Like this one time when the three of us were playing this game that we made up where you have to impersonate an inanimate object, and you know the other person, the people on the other team have to guess what you were. And so when it was me and my dad going, because we teamed up, we both lied on the floor with our heads touching, and we both inched slowly to the right, and Uncle Avo guessed that we were the big hand and small hand of a clock. When it was Uncle Avo's turn to go, he got up, he went to the wall, and he banged his head against it for like 30 seconds and turned to us and said, "Hammer." And I said, "That's not how you play the game." But, but I thought, is this funny? I'm like, is this funny to the normies? And I wasn't sure. And it kind of made me like really dread the upcoming Saturday that was approaching us, because that night my mom and dad had plans to go to the Armenian day school dinner dance, and Uncle Avo and I were gonna hang out or go out and do something fun. And I thought, with my experience with a name like Anoush Froundjian and making that all happen for me in the mid-90s, in a Irish Catholic community that we grew up in, I felt that it would probably be best if Uncle Avo and I never, ever, ever left the house. And, but he thought it would be fun if we walked to the neighborhood pizzeria and then went to the movie theater to see a movie. Like, he thought that would be fun, and I was like freaking out. It was like, maybe I can get sick or something and we don't have to go. And Saturday was getting closer and closer, and he walks in and he's reading the paper for the showtimes. And he says, there are two movies we could see. We can see White Fang 2, or we could see Naked Gun 33 1/3, the final insult. And I like a good animated movie, but I didn't really want to see White Fang 2, but I also didn't want to see a movie with the word naked in it with my uncle. I was 9. I just learned the word inappropriate. I was aware, and I didn't. If there was going to be a kissing scene, I was not going to be sitting next to that guy, in the movie theater. And so I like in Armenian, I say, "Is this a movie that someone like me can see?" And he's like, "Oh yeah. And I was like, he's not getting what I'm asking. And he said, "Is this something someone my age can see?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you'll like it." And I'm thinking, okay. So we walk over and we get our seats and the lights go down, and I'm just sitting there holding my bucket of popcorn. It's the only thing left in this world that I could trust. And the lights go down and it starts. And it's I'm not sure what to make of it. It's really serious. It's like really slow too. Everyone's talking like this, and I'm just sitting there waiting for the sex. And then all of a sudden, the guy with the white hair accidentally eats fertilizer, and he goes like this. And then I think this might be funny. I don't know. And then I hear Uncle Avo next to me going, Liza. And I'm like, okay. And then the guy with the white hair accidentally drinks pee and then spits it out. And I think, oh, this is a funny movie. And it just gets better and better. There's a great prison break. And then the guy with the white hair runs the escape plans through a shredder and eats it with tomato sauce like it's spaghetti so no one can find it. And then we find out Anna Nicole Smith has 2 sets of knees. And then we go to the Academy Awards where we find out that Anna Nicole Smith is a man. And when we see her big penis, the shadow of it on the wall, where I'm laughing like my insides are hurting, and so is everybody else in the theater. And I think, oh, we're all laughing at the exact same thing. And for the first time in my life, I feel comfortable in my own skin. And I realize that there might be room in this world for an Avo and an Anoush. And also, if there are more Naked Gun movies that I want to check out, there's a whole first one and second one. And Naked Gun 33 1/3 is streaming on Amazon Prime right now. And I encourage everybody to at least watch it once, preferably with a family member. I mean, it's funny, it's warm, it's got a pretty good message at the end, and it is by far my favorite Armenian movie. Thank you so much.
Anoush Froundjian, everyone.